Welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the third day of the Singapore Fintech Festival. And joining me for this segment, we have Ray Yang. He's the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer over at PlatON, and we're going to discuss the seismic shifts in the culture of ownership. Thanks so much for joining us. And this is such an interesting topic, how all these emerging technologies that we're discussing at the Fintech Festival really are changing the culture of economic growth and ownership.
Yes. So from my personal perspective, I think there's a big trend because of the worry for privacy. 10 years ago or 20 years ago, people just contributed their data to the giants companies, and then the data was analyzed by AI algorithms and was cast into like digital ads, e-commerce, etc. And then we see a strong trend in the most recent couple of years or months that people start to see, can we put this value of the data back to the data owner? Can we also keep this ownership traceable such that the whole chain of this internet business model will still be able to survive, to develop, to get bigger and bigger? So we come to an intersection that we want to make the business bigger, we also want to keep the privacy. So the real goal, in my opinion, the real goal behind blockchain is that we want to give the right to enjoy the profit of the data value back to the original owner.
All right, so what about creating standards of security, of compliance, of privacy? How are data solutions going to impact this blueprint? Because it's really arbitrary.
Yes, and let me start to address this question in a couple of examples. Okay, we see some developments from Europe, from EU, of course the GDPR, and then China has its counterpart of that. And I believe our audience also noticed that last week, Germany government, they released a very strong state-issued document to say that they want to invest and they want to start the regulation from the government perspective view to try to collaborate with the enterprises all over the world, especially those enterprises in Germany, how to use blockchain to solve the privacy issue and how to use that to improve their automation 4.0 or industry 4.0. And we also see a lot of things happening in the United States, mostly from the Wall Street point of view, mostly from the financial part. So I see EU, as we can see, Europe, China, and the United States, all of them have different angles, but I believe they are gearing to the similar directions, that they want to solve this by the collaboration between governments and the enterprises, especially those small business.
All right, let's talk about PlatON specifically. Now, you were selected as the infrastructure provider of the first blockchain-powered smart city. Tell us about that. That sounds exciting.
Yes. Well, smart city is a big idea. It's actually a big industry. No matter it's in Singapore here, we have like a smart nation. Singapore government just released that we have Singapore is going to build a smart nation. Not only the government, but also the enterprise. The smart here means that the data flow can flow freely and can be traced. Okay, so in China, smart city, I believe the estimates, correct me if I were wrong, but the market cap is very big and it's developing. But the fundamental idea that why PlatON is aiming this market is that the new generation of smart city is built on trust. The trust between different entities, institutes, and individuals. How can we say we are planning the Innova City in Hangzhou, which will take about 250,000 people there? We want to test. We want to study that how we can build the internal trust so that we can provide a better or more efficient or more affordable financial product based on the trust. The trust of what? The trust of data value.
Right, and to wrap up here, you're also in collaboration with Mercedes-Benz to develop a blockchain-based vehicle management platform. It's a big deal, Mercedes-Benz.
Yes, actually, let me add one more word to your statement. It's the management system for the used car value, right? Because
got it.
Mercedes say how many new cars they made every year, 10 million or 5 million, but how many used Mercedes on the street? They are still generating data so that we may be able to add some financial products on top of that, such as used car trading, how to provide a fair and valuable value of that, how to make sure the value is accurate to that vehicle based on the whole history from day one the car was manufactured, or from day -1 that the parts was manufactured. That's how the blockchain and AI is going to help Mercedes-Benz, and we are working on that. I'm looking forward for further development of these products. This can be used for any other manufacturing industry.
All right, sounds exciting. Thanks, Ray, for joining us at
Thank
the
you very
Fintech
much.
Festival. And thank you for joining me throughout the day on Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.